Hey guys, hope you're all doing fine today. So, I uploaded this video to my TikTok account. You can see on the left side the train is moving, leaving the trail of smoke behind, a thick trail of smoke left behind. And on the other side, on the right side, you see a volcano is expelling fumes, thick ash. It goes straight up, proving that Earth is at rest and not speeding through the universe. The globe-believing people, they react saying that space is a vacuum and there's no friction at all. It keeps going forever. There's no friction at all. So that's the reason I'm making this video today. I want you to go ahead first and take a listen to what NASA has to say about space.
Effects of the solar wind. The wind speed of a devastating Category 5 hurricane can top over 150 miles per hour, or 241 kilometers per hour. Now imagine another kind of wind with an average speed of 0.87 million miles per hour, or 1.4 million kilometers per hour. Welcome to the wind that begins in our sun and doesn't stop until after it reaches the edge of the heliosphere, the solar wind. Now imagine another kind of wind with an average speed of 0.87 million miles per hour, or 1.4 million kilometers per hour. Welcome to the wind that begins in our sun and doesn't stop until after it reaches the edge of the heliosphere, the solar wind.
So according to them, there is this continuously blowing solar wind of a speed of almost 1 million miles per hour, or 1.4 million kilometers per hour, continuously blowing. And that begs the question, like what happens to all those geostationary satellites stationed at 30,000 kilometers above Earth, 20,000 miles? So what happens to all of them, all 24 of them? How about, how did they make it to the moon, 250,000 miles from Earth, with, basically just a sextant as a navigational instrument, without having been blown off course, being blown away by this 1 million miles per hour wind? How about the James Webb telescope? It's not going off its course. Same thing with the Mars rovers. We travel for almost 2 years to reach Mars. If this wind blows on this tin can size of a car, it would easily blow this stuff away. Just imagine, for example, here on Earth, according to the heliocentric model, a wind of 100 miles per hour, 150 miles per hour. Look what can do to this car. Can just flip a heavy car and look at this scene in a parking lot. All those cars being blown away by a wind of just 150 miles per hour. Considering that we have what they believe the so-called gravity here, and those heavy things are being easily blown away by a wind of 150 miles per hour. And they are telling us that in space, all those tin can satellites the size of a sofa or a car are not being blown off course to the destination, either Mars, the moon, or whatever. So how can this be possible? And Globers want to defend that space is a vacuum with nothing. We are traveling forever with no problem at all. We cannot feel the atmosphere. This is not the case, right? Unless they claim that Earth is protected by a dome, which is what we say it is. There's waters above, waters below. The sun, the moon, the stars are contained here within the atmosphere. So this video on NASA talking that the sun is blowing out this wind all the way to the ends of the heliocentric sphere, what they call.
Welcome to the wind that begins in our sun and doesn't stop until after it reaches the edge of the heliosphere, the solar wind.
It just doesn't make any sense at all, right? You cannot have a vacuum in space and all this. You cannot have this calmness of space where anything goes forever, and at the same time there's 1 million miles wind. So take a listen to what this guy has to say.
Does the James Webb Space Telescope really exist? No, it does not, and I'm about to prove it to you in just 3 short minutes. Let's take a good look at its design real quick, because it's not very aerodynamic whatsoever, which it really would need to be. Look at this big mirror up top. This, traveling at speeds of Mach 10, would be like a big parachute. It would just be ripped right off of the rocket that's supposedly carrying it. Second of all, they want us to believe that this tiny little solar panel right here is keeping this thing powered 24/7 while it's flying through space. We can't even get an electric car to travel more than 300 miles without having to be plugged back in. And yet they're powering this thing 1,000,000 miles from Earth with this tiny little solar panel. Dang, why don't they share this technology with the rest of the world? That's aluminum foil, guys. Aluminum foil. Just a really thick version of it. Let me show you something interesting. The James Webb can orbit the sun at only traveling at 32,000 miles per hour, while Earth has to go 66,000 miles per hour to orbit the sun. All the while the sun is traveling at 500,000 miles an hour. Well, how is something going 32,000 miles an hour running circles around something going 500,000 miles an hour? None of your math adds up. As it travels through space, the solar wind reaches speeds of over 1,000,000 miles per hour. Well, I just showed you its design. Shall we take another look? Look at these sheets of thin aluminum, very thin. Look at these little panels that's holding it on. 1,000,000 miles per hour? Give me a break. It would tear this little Cracker Jack box into shreds. This thing would be torn off the top. This panel right here would be ripped off the bottom, and all of this aluminum foil right here would just be ripped to shreds. It's impossible, guys. So they strapped this telescope to a rocket, okay, and launched it into space. Well, look how hot the surface of the rocket gets upon leaving Earth's atmosphere. 6,000 degrees Fahrenheit, guys. 6,000 degrees. The melting point of aluminum, just 1,200 degrees Fahrenheit. There's no physical possible way that it could withstand those temperatures. And they expect us to believe that it's flying through all of this space debris, cosmic dust, rocks, meteors, and asteroids, and never hits anything, never needs cleaned, never needs maintenance.
So here are the size of satellites according to NOAA. The smallest one, the size of a watermelon. And you see here on top, the heaviest one, and the size of a pickup truck, about 7,000 pounds or 3,200 kilograms. So this is nothing compared to the size of the sun, which is 400 times bigger than the size of Earth, continuously blowing those 1,000,000 miles per hour wind. Everything in space would have been blown away a long time ago. Okay, nothing would be orbiting Earth. Nothing could reach the moon, Mars, or anything like that. Alright, so just a quick video today, guys. Hope you're all doing fine. See you next time. Bye-bye.
Don't waste any more time. Visit the links above now and order my book 16 Emergency Landings Proving Flat Earth. Visit my online store now and order the new enhanced Gleason's Flat Earth map. This map used to be in every school and library in the nation before NASA was created in 1958, when the maps were ordered removed. Have your Gleason's map hanging on the wall in your house where no government can take it down. Here you see it hanging on a wall in the house of the late Charles K. Johnson. Here is a quote from the book 1984 by George Orwell. Every record has been destroyed or falsified, every book rewritten, every picture has been repainted, every statue and street building has been renamed, every date has been altered, and the process is continuing day by day and minute by minute. History has stopped. Order your map now.